Hey, everybody. It is Tanya Smith here of Get Noticed with Video at getnoticedwithvideo.com. So I'm going to be live tonight at our regular time. We're here on Mondays at 6 p.m. Central, and we're going to be broadcasting here on Facebook as well as on YouTube and Twitter. So wherever you choose to watch, I'm excited that you're here. And I am live, so make sure you say hello and let me know you're here as well. So the question that we're going to answer for tonight is this. We're going to do a little self-discovery. The question is, what 5 questions could I answer about myself to help me move past all the roadblocks and do more video? So we're going to talk a little bit about you, and I want you to do some self-discovery, and I'm going to guide you through that. That means you need to have a notepad and pen. So while you're getting your notepad and pen ready, and I'm saying hello to my amazing, wonderful guests, there's Jakara and Stacy and Virginia. While I'm saying hello and I'm welcoming everyone in, feel free to go ahead and watch a short intro video, and I will be right back. All right, everybody, I want to welcome you to the Get Noticed with Video live show. This is what we do every Monday at 6 p.m. Central. Sometimes we go a little bit off schedule, but it's rare. It's only when we have special occasions like we did last week. Miss Connie, it is good to see you, beautiful. So happy Monday to you. I want to hopefully start your week off right. And for those of you who are in the group, you know that we started our Let's Go Live challenge today, so you still have a little more time. Get your first challenge assignment done tonight, and I'll look for your comments in the group. So I will dive right on in, and we're going to talk a little bit about these 5 self-discovery questions, and you may be wondering why. So before I do that, let me address the hats, because I know some of you are like, wait, what? She has a hat on, and wait, there's a sign. There's a sign. I decided I'm going to share a little love with you today. So we have our love sign. Oh, no music, just me. I also wanted to switch it up a little bit and not worry so much about the hair. And I'll tell you why in just a minute, because we're doing this self-discovery thing, right? So I'm going to walk you through some self-discovery questions. One of the things that I absolutely love to do. Hey, Miss Victoria, beautiful. I'm excited that you're here too. One of the things that I love to do is to really kind of do self-reflection, right? It is one of the ways after many years that I was able to overcome a lot of feelings that were holding me back from doing the things that I knew I was born to do. And some of you may feel like that too right now, that you're stuck in a place or you're feeling as though there's something that you were meant to do, but you just can't get over those hurdles. I've learned through a number of different disciplines, one of them being neuro-linguistic programming or NLP. I've learned how to really just kind of self-analyze. And so I want to help you do that today, because I know some of you are watching this right now and you're like, yeah, I haven't been on video. No, I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't done it yet. And there's things that are holding you back. I'm loving all the purple hearts. I'm so excited that y'all are here. Missy, hey. And Yolanda. It's good to see you, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. But I know that something may be holding you back. And if something's holding you back, then it's our job as a community, as a group of people who are looking for the same thing. We're all trying to use more video marketing as part of our overall content strategy to be more visible so we can reach more people, right? And if that is the goal, then we have to do the work that it takes to get past any roadblocks, any obstacles. So one of the things that I absolutely love to do is I love like picking up, finding these little decks. So this one is an empowerment questions deck. And it's really cool. Oh my God, really, Missy? I did not know. A neuroscience coach. I'm an NLP master practitioner. So, yes. So, you know what I'm talking about. So, look, this particular card deck has all these cards, right? And you can find all kinds of different decks. So, it doesn't have to be this particular one, but it has some really cool cards. And literally, I will just kind of go through this deck at times and pick one out and answer the question in deep thought. Like, think about, how does this apply to me and to my life right now? And in this moment, with everything that is going on, with all the chaos, the injustice, the turmoil, the conversations that you didn't expect to have in 2020, but you're having them now, doggone it. All of those things, we have to find ways to self-analyze and to repeatedly continue to improve our mental state. And so this is one of the things that I wanted to kind of share a little bit with you. Yes, you collect decks of cards. I love these things. I have several, but I want more. I think I want to create my own deck too. So more to come on that. My friend Rosie actually has a class, so I have to check with her to see when that's coming up. So maybe several of us can get together and actually create our own deck of cards for our own disciplines, right? That would be cool. So here's the thing. What I've got is I've written, you're so welcome, Marie. What I've done is I've pulled together 5. Like, I could go on and on and on, but instead we're going to just focus on 5 today. So I want you to really kind of think deeply with me for a few minutes and just get yourself a notepad and a pen out if you don't have one already. And I want you to get ready to write down these questions, because you may not have time to go into deep thought like while we're doing this video, but I really want you to think about the answers to these questions. Yes, let's do it. Yes, 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 yes. We're on it. We're about to do this. And Pat says she's up for making her own deck too. So awesome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start out with question number 1. And I want you to jot down the question. And I'm going to answer because I'm actually on video and talking right now, but I want you to be thinking through your own answers as well. And you can certainly put whatever you feel comfortable putting into the comments. Okay. So the first question is, and I want you to think about this, by the way, let me give you some context. In terms of your video marketing, and it could be other things too, but for this moment, as we're talking, I want you to be thinking about what is holding me back from doing more video, especially live video or on-camera video. What is keeping me from doing more, right? So the first question is, what are the mistakes I continue to make and why? What are the mistakes I continue to make and why? So I'm going to tell you a really short story. This is a really short story so you can really get the point of this particular question. So we have new puppies. Well, they're not puppies anymore. They're like a year old now, but some of you know about the story where I fostered some dogs. We've always had animals. We always have pets, specifically dogs. We love them in our house. But we bought 2 new dogs. We didn't buy them. We fostered them. And then I ended up adopting them because I couldn't let them go because they were too sweet. But because we've always had dogs prior to these, Rowdy and Tyson are their names. I'll have to find a picture of them so I can show you. Because we've always had dogs, I've always fed the previous dogs that we've owned over the years a particular brand of dog food. And that was just what our go-to was, right? So we would feed them this particular type of dog food. And all of the dogs prior to these 2 were fine with that. No issues. You know, we had to make a few tweaks here and there, but ultimately they loved the dog food and they were fine. So when we got these 2, it seemed like all of a sudden, and like I said, we fostered them, so we don't know where their mother was. We just know that they were in an abandoned set. They had some brothers and sisters in the litter, and I can only take 2 because we already had another dog, so we have 3 now. But we didn't know anything about the sensitivity that they had in their tummies. And so we were feeding them the food that we were used to feeding our other dogs when they were pups. because we just assumed that that would work. And so a few days into us having them, one of them started getting really sick and just wasn't doing well. I won't go into a whole description, but if you have pets, you know what you can go through, right? And so we ended up, I kept feeding them the same food for a little while until I realized, wait a minute, something is not right. And I ended up taking, and I see you laughing at me. I ended up taking them to the vet and said, I just don't know what's going on. Do they have worms? You know, because we had checked for those things and thought that they were dewormed and all of that other stuff. And she said, no, they actually have a sensitive tummy. They're not going to be good with the food that you've been used to giving them. So as soon as I switched up the food and gave them a different brand, as soon as I gave them what the advised brand was to switch to, both of them became more energetic. They got excited. They started running around. There was no more of the on the carpet, all of that. So when you think about that story, and that is a true story, you think about the types of mistakes that we tend to make. Somebody once said that living in hell is you doing the same thing over and over again and thinking that it's going to give you different results. So think about the mistakes that you have made. Is there something that you need to switch up? Do you need to change to a different brand? Do you need to, just like we had to do with the puppies, is there something that needs to be switched up so that things begin to flow right? And the time when you know that it's not working is when you are pushing way too hard to make it work. If something is not going the way that it should, if you feel in your spirit, you feel like you're trudging through mud to get there, there's something that needs to be changed. There's something that needs to be tweaked. So that is my first question to you is what are the mistakes that you continue to make? And you really need to examine the why behind that afterwards. So I see a couple of comments. Let me see what I see. Not being consistent with scheduling videos. Yes. That was one of the things for me relative to video that was a mistake early on. I realized that I had been doing videos for a very long time, even though I wasn't even giving myself credit for it because I didn't even realize that there was a pattern of doing video. I had a pattern of doing video, but it wasn't a pattern. It wasn't something that was reliable and consistent. So when I sat down last year and said, I'm going to commit to doing 1 to 2 videos a week, at the time I was doing 2, that created a new habit, a new behavior that then turned things around. It was sort of like feeding the dogs a different brand of food, and now things start flowing. So think about what you can change in your own business, in your own life, that will allow things to flow the way that they should. If you're feeling stuck, it's probably because there is something that needs to be switched up. So yeah, Connie, I see your note. Not at this time, you're a newbie. So as a newbie, think about what is it that you're doing that's keeping you from going ahead and doing a live. And if you're not already part of it, then definitely join us in the Let's Go Live challenge. So not sending marketing messages. Yeah, there's always a reason. Yes. There is always a reason. And so that's going to bring our feed into our question number 2. Question number 2 is, how do I distract myself? And so Marie just hit on it. How do I distract myself? When it's time to do your video, if you have not yet made the commitment to yourself and told other people about it, it's easier for you to say, I'm just not going to do it tonight because I don't feel good. And so here's the point with my hat. So I easily could have said, my hair is looking jacked up because it's not my favorite hairdo right now. And it's my own fault. It's hot, it's sweaty, and I've started exercising again. So my hair wasn't looking like I would normally want it to look for a live video. Now, back in the day, just a year ago, I probably would have come up here and changed my mind and said, you know what? I'm not going to go live after all. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wait till I get my hair done in a couple of days, and then I'll do a live. And then when that day would roll around, I would make another excuse or have another distraction. So what Or how do you distract yourself when it comes time for you to do videos? What are you doing to distract yourself? Do you do chores? Do you take a walk outside? Here's what I do when I'm trying to distract myself from doing something that I don't want to do. You can probably relate to this. I will find chores to do. Oh, I probably need to go do laundry right now at this moment. No, I don't. I know I have a set time I usually do that. So why am I messing with that now? Or how about I just walk outside? I just need to get some sun. I'm just going to go outside right now and just walk around and do, just get a moment to myself. Sometimes we need that moment, but other times it's a distraction. Let's be real. Maybe I'll engage in a conversation, pick up the phone because somebody called, even though I knew that that was my set time to do the recording. Or maybe I get caught up in scanning through people's Facebook posts and telling people happy birthday all day long. Whatever it is, there are distractions that tend to hold us back. And so we have to make sure that we're not falling for the trick. So, as Marie said, she finds a reason not to do the things that she knows she needs to do. Be better daily productivity routine and more long range objectives. That probably will go with the first one. So I might have missed you on that one. I'm sorry. Jakara, self doubt. These are all things that are holding you back. I distract myself chasing shiny objects to learn new things. That's a big one. That's a big one. A lot of us do because we tell ourselves, I don't have enough information. I don't know enough. So I need to go and invest in this course or this program, or I need to go hear this speaker, or I need to read this book before I take action. And so by the time 2 years rolls around, we still haven't gotten on video. We still haven't built our course. We still haven't written our book. There are all these distractions that we are allowing to get in the way. Yeah. Ouch. I know, for real. Let's see. Wondering if you have the content that will attract the viewers is your distraction. She said, not happy birthday all day long. Yeah, because you can get caught up in Facebook birthdays, can't you? Yes, you can. So I think this might be Charles who shows Facebook users. So Charles, if that is you in my group, go to streamyard.com/Facebook and just give them permission. That way I can see you and acknowledge you. But yeah, thinking too hard, overthinking, being overwhelmed with your thoughts about, do I have the right content, can hold you back. That can become a distraction. Fear of judgment becomes a distraction. All of these things that you all are listing, these are absolutely truths for many of us. And so we have to find ways to move those distractions. First of all, recognize what a distraction is. Okay. It's a distraction if it's holding you back and keeping you from doing what you committed to yourself to get done. So what if you don't know exactly what you're supposed to say? What would you do if you did know? What would you do if you simply got on the camera and got on the microphone and started talking? How would that work out for you? Move the distractions out of the way. All right, number 3. What would I do if I weren't afraid? So this is a very, very common question that comes up when you're doing self-reflection. If I was not afraid, I'll tell you my own personal one. So I'll be really transparent. If I was not afraid, I would let go of everything else that I have that I'm working on and just focus on growing my Get Noticed with Video business. I would open up a brick and mortar or a small studio where I could actually bring my clients and put them on camera myself. And I would do the videography for them and hold their hand and walk them through the scripts and all of that. I would do that if I weren't afraid. That's truth. What about you? You've heard mine. What would you do if you weren't afraid? What kind of steps could you take? And so now that I'm aware of that fear or of that thing that's holding me back, now it's time for me to put on paper or to put on computer, because I love doing mind mapping, some ideas for how I could make that vision come to pass, right? So it's about the awareness. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Let me look and see if I see some answers. Yes, and imposter syndrome is big time. That gets in our way. That's a huge distraction. So, what would you do if you weren't afraid? I'll give you a few minutes and I'll come back and scan through. Let me give you question number 4. What subject makes me lose track of time while I'm talking about it? What could I just get excited about and just talk about all day? And I would just not even know that, oh my God, it's been 6 hours. I've been talking about this. If that is not what you're talking about on video, what are you talking about? This is one thing that always baffles me is when people start a business and they start a business based on a topic or a thing that they think they're supposed to talk about, but it's not really the thing that they get excited about and that they love and they're passionate about. So I've shared this story with some of you before, and I'll share it again because I think it is poignant. At one point in my career, early on as a coach, a friend of mine said, "Oh my gosh, you and your husband have been married for so long. This year for us is 26 years." So, yeah, that is pretty awesome. But this was years ago before this. And she said, "I want you to come and talk at a relationship summit that I'm doing, because you and your husband have been married for so long. And I want people to know your secrets." And I thought, I don't really even talk about that topic. That's not my area of passion. I mean, we make it work. But, I can't give anybody else a formula for making it work. That's not what I study. I don't get excited about that. And I will tell you that when the time came, I actually forgot that it was time for me to speak. And that's something I never do. Like, I'm very structured with timing. I respond to emails, all of that. My calendar, it's what keeps me going. I know where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be, but I was late for this summit. And there were, I don't know, maybe 100 or so people that were sitting on a line waiting for me to come on to the virtual stage. And when I did come on, I felt unprepared. It was probably the most lackluster presentation I have ever given in my entire life. And it was because it was about something that I did not want to talk about. I wasn't passionate about. I'm passionate about my relationship, my personal relationship, but I'm not passionate about teaching people to have a solid and good, loving relationship in their marriage. That's not what I do. So I want you to think about, what is the subject? What is the thing that makes you lose track of time? What are you so passionate about that you have made a decision to build your business around it? And now it's time for you to talk about it and to share with people your gifts through video. Because the more that you can talk about something you're passionate about, the more it's going to shine, the more you'll feel authentic and real, and it will come through for the people that you're speaking to. When I talk about video marketing, I am passionate about it. When I talk about content in general and how to use content strategy to build your business and to increase your social influence, I'm passionate about that. That's something that gets me excited. I love all the tools and the tips and the strategies and the tactics, and I study it, late into the evening and early in the morning because it's something I enjoy. But if it weren't something I enjoy, I would not build my business around that. I would not talk about this on video because it wouldn't be effective. And I made that decision after that relationship conference that I would never get on another stage, whether a live stage or a virtual stage, again, talking about things that I really didn't care about. If I didn't have true charity in my heart about that topic, I'm not going to talk about it. So, what subject makes you lose track of time? I'm going to scan through and see. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So there's a couple of things. So I'm going to backtrack. What would I do if I weren't afraid? I'm seeing some answers for that. Connie said, sell her products. Marie said, write a book. Marie, you need to write that book. And there's some people on this video right now that can help you with that. So we need to connect you on that. Virginia, does better with the on the spot live videos rather than planning them out. I've seen you do some recent ones, Virginia, and you do really well. And you are somebody who is a great example of when you talk about the things that you get excited about, it shows, it shines on video. Yes, yes, yes. So good. Yes, God bless 36 years. I think this is Charles. So I'm just going to say congratulations if it's Charles or someone else. 36 years married. That is wonderful. Yes, faith, faith, faith. Being committed enough to say no to the things that are not your subject. Yes, even if it's a paid topic, it's going to come off flat if it's not something that you really have a passion for. So let's do number 5. Number 5, and I'll repeat all the questions so that you can go back and write them or make sure you have them all down so you can do some self-reflection for your own self to prepare to do more videos. What characteristic do you believe you lack, but you would love to have? What characteristic do you believe you lack right now, but you would love to have? So I don't know. I have to think about this one. I hadn't even really thought about an answer for this one. I'm wondering what you all think for yourselves. What characteristics do you think you lack but would love to have? Here's one for me. I think being the introvert that I am, and a lot of you always seem surprised when I say that, but I really am. I'm one of those people who, if I go into a crowded room, I will probably shrink over to the wall like a wallflower and just monitor. Like I'll look around and lurk a little bit and see, is there a person standing by themselves that I should talk to? But I do not typically tend to be the one that goes up to a group of people and just kind of inserts herself into the conversation. That is a characteristic that I would like to be more improved with, but I don't know if I would love to have that. I think I do okay. But I do probably, if it comes down to lacking something, maybe it would be that lack of assertion, into a conversation and knowing exactly what to say when there's a crowded group of people. I never seem to know. I have to kind of be prepared for that in advance. I'm a little slower when it comes to that. So I would love to have that. From a video perspective, if I were thinking about this question in terms of video marketing, what characteristic? I would love to be able to do more outside video. And I currently I don't have the comfort level to be outside of my space that I've structured to do that. But that is something now that I am aware, and I've just said that out loud, I can work on that. I can work on that and I can put things in place and get the right resources to help me to be better and to improve at doing more outside video. So do you get how this is working? And if it helps you as you are at home and you're going through these questions, then say it out loud. Say it out loud. Me too, observer. When there's a big group of people, yes. Video queen, wait, but lack the tech even though I have the tools. Yes, Missy, you are a rock star on any stage. I know this. Yes. So you would like to improve your ability or knowledge of the tools, or maybe to even bring in the right people that have those tools. Stacy said, very introverted. I wish I was more outgoing. I know how to turn it on. I do it every day. Yes. Okay. We're in the same boat. HR, same thing. But because of what I do, I can kind of, I won't say hide it, but it's not as necessary in that role. On video, I like to be more entertaining. Yes, I like more courage, Marcia says. I like more commitment to time for me to do what relates to me. Yes. So we're saying all these things. So tools, yes, all these things that we're saying out loud. Connie says sounding convincing. She wants to sound more convincing. And you will, because now we've put it out there. We've stated what we want and what we would like to improve. So now that we are aware and it's out loud, now we have an opportunity to find the resources to be better and to improve in those spaces, right? whether that means hiring someone, or that means studying something, or that means bringing in the necessary resources, or reading those books that tend to be distractions. We just won't read them when it's time to do our video. but now we have armed ourselves with options, because now we know what these roadblocks are because we are stating them out loud. So I hope that this is making sense to you, and the fact that we're using these self-reflection questions is really resonating with you. I hope that you will take these questions. I'm going to repeat them really quickly here to make sure you have them. Miss Pat says she wants to be more confident. And you're gaining that because the more you do video, I've seen your videos too. The more you do video, the more confident you are every single time you get on live. Every single time. So good. Thank you. Getting on your schedule now and better. I'm so thankful that you are better too. You know, I've been keeping you in my thoughts and prayers, lady. All right, so let's read through these questions because I want to make sure you write them down and you go through them and you do your self-reflection. Number 1, what are the mistakes I continue to make and why? Number 2, how do I distract myself? What's keeping you from doing more video? This is you asking yourself, how do I distract myself? What's getting in the way? Number 3, what would I do if I weren't afraid? What would I do? Would I change something? Would I do something differently? Would I embrace something that I haven't embraced before? Number 4, what subject makes me lose track of time while I'm talking about it? What am I so super passionate about that I really need to think about how to integrate that into my video? And then number 5 is, what characteristic do you believe you lack but would love to have? And then I guess the follow-up to that would be, well, what are the steps I can take to getting there? So if there is a gap, and this is what these self-reflection questions are designed to do, is to show you where the gap is. How do you close the gap? What do you put in the middle to bridge your way over to where you want to be, from where you are right in this moment to where you want to be when it comes to doing your videos? So I don't know. I get excited about this kind of stuff. It is not the typical or traditional video marketing call or conversation, but it matters because most of what we do when it comes to marketing is all right here. It's all mental. So we have to, if we want to do better, we have to be better, right? If we want to do better, we have to be better. So to be better means that we're going to self-reflect and we're going to work on those things that we need improvement for. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. I appreciate you coming. Marie, so true. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining me this evening. It has been my pleasure, as always, to be able to talk with you again. I'm going to be meeting with my group members in just actually, at about an hour and a half, I think. We're meeting in half an hour. I don't even know anymore. For those of you who are doing the Let's Go Live challenge, be sure to meet me in the group. We're going to start at 7 p.m. Central. I'm going to open things up. Thank you, Missy. Missy said, I love this session today. Pat said, this was excellent. Marie said, looking forward. Yes, I'm going to see you really soon. Connie, I learn every time I watch. I learn from you all too. I love that you're participating and that you're answering and responding, and that helps me to grow just as much as it's helping you to grow. So we're going to be on the Let's Go Live challenge. I'm just doing a check-in call, so it won't be very long, but in our group at Get Noticed with Video VIPs. So if you are in the Facebook group, Get Noticed with Video VIPs, then you should be seeing the challenge information. And if you are not quite yet a member of our community, feel free to come on over to Facebook. Yeah, my Facebook page is Get Noticed with Video. And at the very top, there's a blue button that tells you how to come visit the group. So you just need to request to join and answer the 3 questions. There are 3 questions you must answer in order to be approved. So make sure you answer those. Awesome. All right. And Victoria, I think you are in there. So I will see you all over there at 7 for those of you who want to join in on the check-in and ask questions, or just let me know how things are going with your first assignment, day 1. All right. Take care and have a blessed and prosperous rest of the week. I will see you next Monday at 6 p.m. Central.